it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Friday. I'm Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy Dylan Tyrer and Rhyme Time behind the glass. DT, happy Friday to you, my friend. 8 days away from the Holy Matrimony?
Yeah, 8 days away.
Right.
I'm fired up. We got the rehearsal dinner a week from tonight. I'm excited to see all my family for that one. It's been a while since I've seen all my extended family, and it's gonna be weird having all my friends in the same room as my extended family. They know too much about me. My friends do.
Hopefully, when you guys are doing some toasts and some cheers on Friday night, it doesn't get too out of control. I feel like we're just doing a lot of stuff with marriage. Like I was doing the show with Tim May last night. His son's getting married tomorrow. You're getting married next week. Our guy Evil Bald Colin just got married last weekend. It's wedding season, baby.
Yeah, Zach Wierenski getting married this weekend in Columbus too. Yeah.
You know what? By the way, while we're on this subject, great time to get married in the summer and not the fall.
Yeah. I know it's going to be hot out there. I'm a little bit worried about.
Do you guys have an indoor-outdoor opportunity, or are you committing to the outdoor?
So it's a little bit brutal because we're actually getting married in a greenhouse. So it's going to be a little bit hotter, but it's shaded. There are trees all around it. We just got to hope for low humidity. Right now, next Saturday is looking good.
I'm sure you've already been on the prowl.
Yeah, I think we're like looking mid-70s to 80s with like 40% humidity. That would be absolutely ideal. So the wedding ceremony will be in there. It won't take too much time. Cocktail hour will be split inside, outside, and then the reception will be all inside in the AC. So I think we'll be okay. It's a good situation. Went out there a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
You're going to do a scout check.
Yes.
Location check, make sure that everything is good.
Yeah, we did a pre-scout, watched the tape. Probably going to have to go back in the days leading up and do another rerun on the tape, make sure everything's good to go, make sure I've got all my proper checks if there need to be audibles and everything. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm fired up.
Absolutely. You should be, man. Take it all in. It's going to go by really fast, and then it'll be over before you know it. Then you'll be married for like 9 years and having your anniversary. Yeah, Rhyme Time, what's up?
You won't like when I got married.
Did you get married in the fall?
In the fall.
See, on a Saturday?
No, it was a Sunday.
Okay, that's better.
Crazy enough, the Saturday before was Ohio State, Penn State.
See, everything like
But we locked in. We watched that, and then we had the rehearsal, and then wedding on Sunday.
My schedule is so restrictive that like this is it. Like I got Blue Jackets coming up. I couldn't do the bachelor party until the Stanley Cup playoffs were over, just in case the Blue Jackets were to go to a Stanley Cup
and
final.
They were one game away at the very end.
Exactly. Like this was it. I was sweating at the end. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. This could change things up for my off
Canadians.
But yeah, Reimer, I don't know what the heck you're doing.
Yeah,
man. That's
come on,
wild.
Man. You're from here. What are you doing?
I would never, ever, ever do it during football season.
It was a beautiful time.
I'm sure it was.
No,
it's the nice,
sweet.
Yeah, of course it is. It's the best time of the year. It's great weather-wise, but it's just the premise and the point that you can't get married on a fall weekend.
I didn't want to do it on Ohio State Saturday. I'm more college than I am NFL.
Yeah.
And
that's fair. That's fair.
And Sunday weddings are way cheaper too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And I don't have to deal with standing. I was standing there sweating anyways because I was nervous, but it wouldn't have been as bad if it was 90 degrees.
Yeah, you're right. The Sunday fall wedding is fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's way more acceptable than a Saturday fall wedding. That's a note to everybody out there driving around, listening at your house. If you have a fall wedding on Saturday, just know that either A, people are going to be watching the Ohio State game there, or two, they're going to say, no, I'm not going to come. We got a great show lined up for you here this evening. Sark is very aware of Jeremiah Smith's going to be on the field when they open things up August 30th. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. Beers and Buckeyes with our guy Patrick Murphy, fresh back from Vegas, coming up at 6:30. We will do the Power 5. I'll give you 40 minutes to think about this because I feel like it's a pretty good one. And maybe what we just talked about is going to be in there. Power 5 best things about football season almost being here. That's coming up at 6:46 a little bit later on. Get into the Pulse at 7 o'clock, do some Jim Knowles stuff at Penn State, and then I guess it's the Bucknuts Daily Double because Steve Helwagen, also fresh back from Vegas, is going to join us coming up here at 7:30. Dylan, you're a man of international travel, correct?
Yeah. Somewhat.
Canada.
It depends.
Bellingham, Washington.
I've been
all
to
over the place.
I've been to Finland. I've been to Canada. I'll be going to St. Lucia in 2 weeks. So yeah, you could call me an international traveler. I'm a man about the world.
Are you guys doing like an all-inclusive down there?
No all-inclusive for us. It just worked out monetarily where I'm a budget-friendly traveler. Yeah. Monetarily, it worked out for us better to not do the all-inclusive option at the place we're going to. So, hey, we're gonna have some fun, but no, we'll be right on a beach there in St. Lucia, do some nice meals. They have Piton beers there is the local beer, so I'll be all over the Pitons. And that's... The wedding is one thing I'm fired up for. The honeymoon, I'm really fired up for.
Yeah, it's just the best. Chill. Just parking yourself on a beach or by the pool, whatever you want to do, and just hang out for a week. It's very good. Yeah, we did our honeymoon at down in the Bahamas, and we did an all-inclusive.
Nice.
I think it was Calicks were the beer of choice down there, and they were fantastic and very cold. I did see this today, though. This is a pretty wild story. Michigan and Western Michigan in the same state, not too far away from each other, will actually open up the 2026 season next Saturday, August 29th, in Frankfurt, Germany. It's a very weird non-conference neutral site international game. Is it not? Like, am I overreacting to that? It's a strange thing to have two teams so close together and then taking the game to Germany. It would be like Ohio State and OU going over to France and playing a non-conference opener.
Everything about it to me is strange. When I saw this come down my timeline this morning, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, it's not the first time college football's gone international, but before it made a little bit more sense, right? Did Notre Dame played over in Ireland a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
did they not?
I think they've done it. They've done it a couple of times.
Right.
Who was it last year? Florida State and
Georgia Tech.
Georgia
right?
Tech did it.
That's an odd one. But like Notre Dame going over there makes sense to me. They're the Fighting Irish after all. Michigan and Western Michigan going to Germany. Like, why?
So
why? And what you brought up was the second thing that came to mind. Like, wait a second. These two teams are right next to each other. Like that. You would want the fans of Western Michigan to drive to Ann Arbor
it's
and everybody.
It's an hour and 35 minutes away on a map. I'm Google mapping it right now. To Ann Arbor to Western Michigan, which is in Kalamazoo, is 1 hour and 35 minutes. It's 102 miles away.
Like literally nothing about it makes sense because even so, like let's go back to the Florida State Georgia Tech thing. Like those are two big programs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some reason, there's some intention behind that. Like, okay, I'm a Georgia Tech fan. Okay, I'm an FSU fan. I'll travel internationally.
That sounds fun. Well, let's go to Dublin.
If I'm a Michigan fan or a Western Michigan fan, if those even exist out there, am I going to buy a flight and pay for a hotel in Germany to go watch my team play? Like, if you're a Michigan fan,
it's a bloodletting.
That is going to be a blowout. Like, why? Why is it? It's not during Oktoberfest, is it?
No, because I think that's a little bit later on in the year. I mean, this is Labor Day weekend. They're going to be doing this next year.
Huh, man, I'm trying to think what the draw is here.
I am too. Even if you had, let's say, I don't know, pick your random other Power 4 conference team. If you had Michigan against Reimer's guys, North Carolina. Okay, then I'm like, all right, you Bill Belichick, you guys can go over there, you schedule something, but a Western Michigan versus Michigan international game when I think Western Michigan fans are going to be like, I'm not going to that. Why would I? Why would I want to do it?
Exactly. Oktoberfest starts at the end of September, by the way, so it's
so
like there's not even
that.
reason. Like maybe if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Oktoberfest. Sure, I could see a game too. Nope,
not going to.
Why?
I don't know. We're losing the plot in college football, folks. We're doing it. And by the way, neutral site games are stupid. Just play them at home and play them on your continent. Steve Sarkisian, he's very aware of where number 4 is going to be for the Buckeyes on the football field when they match up on August 30th. We'll get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Morning Juice is now on YouTube, weekday mornings starting at 6. If you're a fan of Bobby Carpenter, he's ready to attack and dominate. If you're a fan of Jeff Goodoff, drive directly to a hospital. Seriously, The Fan.
We've got a story about a little bean doing big things. Soybeans are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we use every day. And Ohio's farmers are growing some of the world's best soybeans. By using and eating soy-based products, you make a positive impact locally and globally. Say hey to the largest ag export in the U.S. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hot and humid with scattered showers and a few thunderstorms on this Friday. Temperatures running in the mid to upper 80s. Overnight will fall back down to the low 70s. A warm and humid start to your Saturday. Slight chance of a shower early. A slightly better chance of a late day shower and storm. Otherwise, high temperatures with some sunshine near 90. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Got Dylan Tyrer in with me here tonight. Coming up at 6:30, a little bit later on this hour. Patrick Murphy of Bucknuts, he's going to pop by. He's not going to pop by. I'll tell you exactly where Murph is at if you want to go yell at him. He is in the north lot of Lower.com Field getting ready for the Crew as they play Orlando tonight.
Love that.
Yeah, I didn't even need to text him his whereabouts, but I can guarantee you in 13 minutes when we talk to Pat, he'll be in the north lot drinking beers.
When I saw his name in the interview scheduled on the show sheet, like the first thing I thought was, this is going to be a fun interview where I can hear a bunch of people like excited partying in the background. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, either that or he will have already made his way into the stadium. But
Even
I
better.
doubt that.
Vuvuzelas in the background.
How great were the Vuvuzela World Cup down in South Africa?
I will never forget that.
That was so good.
Took the world by storm. I actually had one.
I did too.
Yeah.
I had a Vuvuzela.
Yeah, I was. I believe at that point I was an LA Galaxy season ticket holder, so like Vuvuzelas were a thing going to those games.
Yeah.
I wish they would have brought them back when the Chargers played there. Just like made it the Chargers thing.
Like, you're playing in what, a 25,000 seat stadium or 30,000?
If
the
that.
StubHub Center?
Yeah, if that.
Right,
it might
out
be
there?
18, 20, I don't know.
It was one of the more unique environments to make it unique.
Yeah, exactly. Just Vuvuzelas the entire game. Justin Herbert can't hear the plays coming in.
If nobody knows what a Vuvuzela is, it's a big plastic horn is what it is.
Yeah.
And the entire World Cup back in South Africa when they hosted it there was just a brrr. You could just hear that throughout the 90 minutes of the game.
Everybody hated it on TV, too.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible, but it just added to the vibes of it. Then you got Waka Waka to come out of that and Wave and Flag, which like best two World Cup songs of all time. So we'll check in with Murph coming up here at 6:30. I saw this from today. Now, Texas, when they played Ohio State last in the Cotton Bowl this past January, did a pretty nice job against Jeremiah Smith. And Jeremiah talked about that at Big Ten Media Days, how, I need to stay in the game a little bit more, and I know I'm going to be double-teamed and triple-teamed this year, and I'll face a lot of bracket coverage. And he kind of got in his own head, Dylan, a little bit. He says, I need to mature a little bit, learn a little bit more about the game. All that matters is that we win, not about my personal stats. But Steve Sarkisian was on with Colin Cowherd today, and I will tell you this, Steve Sarkisian will know where number 4 is at on the football field at all times.
It's interesting. I had a chance to coach Julio Jones for 2 years in Atlanta. Reminds me a lot of him. So big and physical, but yet fast. I mean, cover ground, so strong at the point of attack when the ball's in the air. You see the just the ability to make contested catches. And I do think at the end of the day, that's where your attention needs to be. But hey, they got really good coaches. He's going to be moving around. He's not going to be lining up in one position all the time. Ideally, you've got multiple people with eyes on him and guarding him. But you still have to play great team defense, and you got to have the ability to stop the run, and you got to cover the 2 other wideouts they have, who are 2 really good players too. So I do think a multitude of things that you can do well. But you better know where number 4 is at all times.
Yeah, you do. And they did a really nice job against him, because if you go back to that Cotton Bowl, 1 catch for 3 yards for Jeremiah Smith, which I don't even have to look at the rest of the game logs to know that was by far his season low.
Yeah, I mean, listening to Sark talk right there about you're going to have players, at least 2 players with eyes on Jeremiah Smith.
Let's do the math real quick.
If I'm Carnell Tate or I'm Max Clare right now, I'm like, oh, let's go. I'm ready to feast. I am excited to see if Ohio State is able to include the tight end in the game planning this season, because, I think back all the way to, Marcus Baugh, even before that, when, you have skilled tight ends at Ohio State. They have, like, Jeremy Ruckert was a big-time recruit for Ohio State. Yeah. But the Buckeyes have never really had the tight end be a focal point of the offense, right? Like Cade Stover, I think there were some moments.
Second on the team in receptions, maybe the last year that he was here.
But can you think of another tight end that was that involved? Not really.
Not like in the receiving game, but you go and you look at what they do and how important they are to this offense. Like, they are very important. But when it comes to actual, like, reception production, what you just look at for with, like, tight end stats, like, they're not going to get you there.
Yeah.
But what they do has very much effect on what this Ohio State offense does.
Yeah, like Claire was the guy for Purdue last year. I don't think he's going to be close to that with Ohio State just because you have so many other weapons. But Jeremiah Smith, just how dangerous that guy is. I'm excited to see what opens up this year, because last year, people knew who Smith was, but even so, you're like,
he's a true freshman.
Yeah, some of these more confident programs are like, okay, this guy's a true freshman. How good can he be? And, obviously he didn't do a whole lot in that Cotton Bowl, but outside of that, it's like, okay, now people see what Jeremiah Smith is. He's going to garner a lot of respect this season, already does. So I'm excited to see what these other positions and other guys at Ohio State can do.
Yeah, I am too. And to your point, I think it even opens up the run game, right? Like, if you have 2-3 guys who are going to be keying on Jeremiah Smith and tracking him where he's at, whether you lock him in a bracket or you just say, hey, straight up, we got 2 dudes on you and we need corner help. I think with that situation, Dylan, I just have a hard time imagining that doesn't help the Ohio State run game as well. If your eyes are naturally on a wide receiver, I mean, I know that, Texas has great players and really good safety play, and they've got a hell of a run stopper safety, but we just have to think that at some point, like James Peoples and even Bo Jackson, C.J. Donaldson, like with just the help that anybody is going to give to Jeremiah Smith, not only the pass game, but in the run game too.
Yeah, of course, it's going to come down to the quarterback having to be a threat too, which you're going to talk about that a ton on this show in the coming weeks, whoever it is for Ohio State. And, even whoever wins the battle between Keenholz and Julian Sayin, like, you're not going to know what they've got until you see them against Texas, and maybe even for a few weeks after that. You're not going to really know how good the quarterback is. That is an interesting thing to think about in the first couple of weeks. Like, will Texas maybe favor stopping the pass against Ohio State? Will they try and stack the box and stop the run and maybe force the quarterback to throw? But even so, it's like you've got Jeremiah Smith out there. He can get open by himself.
Let's reverse engineer this game plan for Texas, right? And I know that we're more than a month away from the game, but we're
scheming right now.
If I'm Texas, what I want to do early and often is to pressure the hell out of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get to either Lincoln Keenholz or Julian Sayin and maybe just not run any base defense.
Like that Brian Flores defense.
Yeah.
Just send everybody.
You're right. Yeah, just jailhouse. Like, just straight up jailhouse blitz, like looking in exotics, bringing safeties down, like then moving them out. Like, that would be my game plan going in here, knowing that all we've talked about this offseason is you're going to have an unproven quarterback and a guy in Lincoln Keenholz who played in 3/4 of the Cotton Bowl against Missouri, and then Julian Sayin, who saw spot time last year. Like, that's it. Like, if I'm the Burnt Orange coming into here at Ohio Stadium and you're going to have 105,000 people screaming and just making your life miserable, the one thing that I'm trying to do is get to the quarterback. Because if you do that, then the chances of him getting the ball to number 4 is going to drop significantly.
It's a fascinating football game because Ohio State could do the exact same thing defensively to Arch Manning, right?
Yeah, they can.
Like, this game could go a million different ways. We're far ways out, but man, oh man, it's just such a fascinating football game because there are so many unknowns on both teams.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember a game being as unknown or being kind of as blank a slate as this.
Texas had 12
some time.
guys drafted. Ohio State had 14.
Yeah, like, you got changes on the offensive line on both these teams.
Coordinator changes here.
Yeah, it is wide open, man. I can't wait. But yeah, Jeremiah Smith is kind of the X factor, isn't he? The fact that you have that guy, like Carnell Tate is obviously a tremendous wide receiver. Ohio State has some experience in the running back room. Donaldson, of course, new transferring in, but Peoples flashed last year. I think people are excited about Donaldson. You can rely on that. But JJ, like, just knowing that you've got that guy, Sark knows it. Like, they're going to have to key in on that guy. Maybe just put 2 bodies on Jeremiah Smith and send everybody else at the quarterback.
Yeah, we're sending 9 and we're having 2 on number 4. And that's going to be the game plan. And if we get burned by it, so what? But he's not going to beat us, and we're not going to get beat by a young quarterback. I was listening to this. Ryan Day was on with Austin and Berm a little bit earlier on in Vegas, and he was talking about, what do you want? Would you rather a slow, gradual walk into the pool, or do you want to play Texas right out of the gate and find out what you're about?
Now that we're into the 12-team playoffs, and I do think once we hopefully get to 16, and I think we should have 4 automatic qualifiers, I've said that, then a game like this is great because it gives you a parameter early on of like where we are. If we're not going to have those automatic qualifiers, it's a little risky, quite honestly, because in the Big Ten, we have 9 conference games.
Yep.
And I think what some people don't realize is that it isn't just about that one extra game that you could win or lose. It's, let's say you're playing a team, you get that win, but down the road, they play that 9th game and they get a loss in that last game. Well, now that loss, maybe that win doesn't look as good as it did before.
Right.
So you're not comparing apples to apples here. So when you throw in a 10th one like this, hey, it's going to be a monster year. We like it for the fans. We like it for our guys right out of the gate. I mean, it's going to be all attention on Columbus, which is great. But that is what it is. The schedule's been made. Now we're going to go attack it.
I mean, listen, we're all going to be excited when that day gets here. We're already excited about it, and we're 4 or 5 weeks away from that game. Ideally, I would like a warm-up game. I would like Grambling to be first on the schedule, and maybe even OU second, and then you get Texas third before going into the Big Ten. It would be much better, I think, for both teams for that to be the second game on the year. But, hey, sometimes you just got to let it rip from the get-go.
I like it. I like just jumping right into the pool and seeing what you've got, in Ryan Day's words. I like seeing what you've got, and then, hey, we make a couple of adjustments. Maybe we install some things, change some things, potentially change personnel in those next couple of weeks. Like, I think because when it comes down to it, it's an important game, right? But in the grand scheme with the expanded playoff, it doesn't really matter. You want to win the game. You want to look good. But if you don't, you have a few weeks to tune up. And then what really matters is the Big Ten slate. So I'm in the camp where let's jump right in, see what we've got. If it looks good, then, oh, baby, it's going to be a good year. If it looks not so good, then, hey, let's make adjustments these next couple of weeks, get ready for the Big Ten, and when that slate comes around, you better be looking good.
You better be locked in by the time that fourth game of the season comes a-calling, because if you're not, then all of a sudden you can trip up and it's going to be bad. But, yeah, I think that's a good point, Dylan, because not that it's an exhibition game, but we also saw Notre Dame drop a game to Northern Illinois last year and then play for a national championship on January 20th. So you can have an early season loss. But, yeah, we're going to find out about both teams coming up here in just a few weeks. We're going to do Beers and Buckeyes with our guy Pat Murphy live from the Crew Tailgate here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Drink up, Slappy. It's time for Beers and Buckeyes with Patrick Murphy.
Freshly back from Vegas, currently in the North Lot of Lower.com Field. I'm guessing as now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and check with our guy, the Murph Dog, Patrick Murphy. Murph, was I correct in my assessment? How's the North Lot treating you?
You know me too well, Beam. It's good. As I look towards downtown, I see sun, and as I turn towards the opposite direction, it looks like all hell is about to break loose in the skies. So we'll see how this goes. I'm
looking at a live radar, Pat, and it looks here in about 10, 20 minutes that you guys are going to get smoked down there. But it looks like it's going to be quick, and then it's just going to be rain for a little bit. So I don't know if the game will be delayed, but you're gonna get it. That's for sure.
that's fine. It's been so hot that I would use the cool off for a few minutes, but then it'll just make it crazy humid because we live in Ohio.
Yeah, you're coming back from a crazy hot place in Vegas as well. So from one hot destination to another. How was media days? I know we talked on Monday when you were getting ready to leave, Pat, and you were having an airport beer then. I'm sure you've got a beer in hand right now, but just did it live up to your expectations with the whole Vegas experience, and how was it?
It was interesting. I think from an Ohio State perspective, I would say kind of a bland, under the radar sort of day on Tuesday. And I think that's fine. You're the defending national champions, and if there was a lot of news, it's probably not a good thing. So I think that they came in. The guys, no one said anything that generated headlines. A lot of the questions are questions that won't be answered until they start camp next week, specifically the quarterback battle, and then they got out of there. So I think from that perspective, it was about what I expected. The Vegas aspect was a little weird. I was talking to somebody who was at Big 12 Media Days last year. And we're talking about how they did it at Allegiant Stadium on the field, and they had like showgirls out there, and just like really played up the Vegas theme.
Something that you would love, yeah.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, if you're going to do it in Vegas, do it in Vegas. And instead, we were in just a conference room at the hotel that could have been inserted into any city. If you're just in there, you wouldn't know you were in Vegas. So I think the Big Ten, if they're going to move this thing around, they should figure out ways to, sort of play up whatever city you're in. Or if you want to just keep it in Indianapolis, keep it in Indianapolis, and we'll roll the way we have for however many years now. So, but I enjoyed the time out there. I did not I did not gamble, but I watched a lot of people on the beat. I won't use names, lose money. So it was fun. It was fun all around.
Pat, when we talked on Monday, we were kind of speculating whether or not Tony Petitti would talk about the college football playoff expansion, et cetera, because if you recall that news broke that he had written a letter kind of defending Michigan and asking them not to be penalized. So what were you able to learn from Tony Petitti when it comes to the college football playoff expansion in his stance on it?
Not much, unfortunately. And that's another thing. Again, other media days and other conferences, like the commissioner is around, he's available, you can talk to him off to the side. At least from my understanding, I've only ever experienced Big Ten media days, but other people I know that cover other conferences. And he did his time on the podium, which you could have watched on BTN, and then he was out of there as far as I noticed. So, look, I think they are very clear that the format that they want is that 4-4-2-2-1, and I think there are some positives in it, in the sense that, there could be some more games added on conference championship weekend. As my colleague Steve Helwagen asked him, why would you then play a conference championship game and risk getting hurt that weekend when you know you're already in, other than just winning the conference? I think that you could make arguments against that as well, in terms of how many games do you want to sort of be playing games for the playoff. I know, Beam, you and I have talked about that on shows in the past.
We've talked about it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and look, I think the best situation may ultimately be, let's keep it at 12 for a while and just see how that goes for 4 or 5 years. And if there's reasons to expand. If nobody can come to an agreement, then I don't see why there's this need to change things so quickly. Obviously the SEC has their thoughts, and we could get into 8 conference games versus 9 conference games, and it just seems like, hey, we've got something. We saw it work pretty well last year. They've tweaked it a little bit, and I think it'll look even better this year with the straight seating. Let's just go with that for a while and see what we think.
He is Patrick Murphy at Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I think it's a great point, Pat. And honestly, if I was commissioner of college football and had my way, we'd shrink it to 8 teams and just do that. That way the regular season would matter. I think 8 was the right number, but we blew past that stop sign and we're at 12, and we'll likely get to 16. I don't know if it's going to be the 5-11 model or the 4-4-2-2-1 as I'm checking my math live on the fly there. But Dylan and I were just having this conversation, Pat. I was listening to a little bit of Steve Sarkisian today, talking about Jeremiah Smith and just how big and fast and strong he is. And, he coached Julio Jones, and he's Julio Jones-like, but we're going to need to know where he's at on the field at all times. And Texas did a really good job in the Cotton Bowl. 1 catch for 3 yards for Jeremiah Smith. I know he talked about that over at Media Days, but we were just workshopping the idea, If you're Texas, what's your game plan when you come in here to Ohio Stadium on August 30th? So on the fly, defensive coordinator Pat Murphy, what's your game plan to stop this Buckeye offense, Pat?
Yeah, I think I would try to do something similar to what you did in the Cotton Bowl. Sharon Moore was asked a similar question, and one of the things he said was, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, right? And I think that's going to be a key thing for everybody this year is try and make whoever wins this job, a young, inexperienced quarterback, uncomfortable as the skies are opening up here at lower.com field. But I think that that's the key thing. And if you want to double Jeremiah and live with what Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis and Max Clay are going to do to you, look, I mean, Texas had it. If you don't fumble that football or if you call a better play the play before, like you're right there in that game, right? So
if you don't allow a slip screen to go 75 yards right before halftime.
Exactly. So I think that there is an argument to be made that Texas's game plan was not only one of the most effective against Jeremiah, but also slowed the Buckeye offense as well as anybody in the playoff. And obviously you do have the scoop and score, and that all counts. But I think obviously different players, they've lost some guys, so they'll have to adjust that way. But I think the idea was good enough that you probably try and tailor it to your personnel this year and do something similar.
Pat, we're about a week away from Ohio State camp opening. Obviously, the quarterback battle, I think, is the number one thing people are thinking about. But is there something for you, a position battle or maybe an underrated player to watch in camp that you are going to have your eyes on, somebody or a battle, a position group that kind of is the number two storyline for you?
I am intrigued, and I don't know if we've talked about this enough this offseason. What happens with Austin Sareveld, who Ryan Day said is going to start and then praised him considerably again this week? Does he stay at right tackle? If somebody else emerges there, can you move him back to guard? If you do that, who moves out of the guard position? Are you going to rotate like you did a year ago? Like, this is a guy who's really emerged, but I don't know if he is necessarily the natural right tackle. You do have Phillip Daniels, who transferred in from Minnesota. If he kind of steps up, can he take that job? I know that Austin Sareveld has really impressed this offseason, so I expect him to carry it over into fall camp. But where does he kind of slot in on that offensive line? Because the offensive line is going to be critical. I think we all think it's going to be really good, and I think there's good reason for that. But how does it all play out? And with a young quarterback, you need to give that guy time. So I think there's that. Obviously, the safety conversation next to Caleb Downs is going to be important. And then just how these young guys, or inexperienced guys, I guess I should say, kind of handle doing this as the season gets closer in these more prominent roles than they've been in before. A lot of them have gone through it, but not in the role that they're going to be in. So I think that's an interesting storyline as well. I expect them to be fine, but you just never know.
Did you interview David Blaine when you were in Vegas?
I did not. I did get that email, though. One of the other guys on the beat said that he inquired about. There were like 5 or 6 people on the list there, and was told like, "Oh, actually, this person isn't there. We can get you on the phone with him, though." And it was like, "Well, that doesn't really help me." Like,
you can't do magic over the phone.
Yeah, I forget. It wasn't a magician. I forget who. It might have been a culinary guy or something. Anyway, I did not. There were enough interviews going on with football that I didn't feel necessary to extend further.
Who was your actual favorite person that you did talk to, minus David Blaine?
Minus David Blaine. That's a good question. Lincoln Riley is interesting. I only caught sort of the end of that. All the Buckeyes were good, no doubt about it. Obviously the Michigan defensive end, Derek Moore, he made headlines. I was not there when he said all those things. Fortunately, we had some audio from that, so I was able to use that. But he certainly was willing to put out the shock and grab type of things that I think all of our sites needed to kind of boost our page views for a week that, like I said off the top, was a little bit bland. There were a lot of good ones. Ross B. York was around, which was nice. Talking to people if they wanted to, which I think is a good thing for him to do, especially as a still relatively new athletic director. Gene Smith also there now that he's helping out in a consultant role at Maryland, so it's good to see him. But like I said, there just wasn't a ton of of juice I felt like out of this. I think, especially with these guys and having agents and things at this point, like they are all so well trained on what not to say.
Yeah.
That, there's not some of the stuff there's been in the past where guys make declarations or promises or whatnot.
Pat, before we get you out of here, what's your score prediction for tonight?
You talking the crew game?
Yes, that's where you're at.
No, well, that's a good point. I will say 2-1. Orlando is one of the best away teams in the league, so they will make this difficult, I imagine, and try and counter. But I think the crew can get it done at home. And there's some sun now, so yeah, that's positive.
You're good. And Gozdog is unleashed because he scored last weekend. Yeah. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on with us. Avoid those raindrops, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
All right, sounds good, guys.
There he goes. Patrick Murphy with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline from the wind tunnel over at the North Lot at Lower.com Field. Power 5, best things about football season almost being here. Coming up next, it's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with a thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks, trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and dropping just 25 pounds with the Waken 180 can actually give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. That's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards on every swing, but from experience, lose 75 pounds like I did, and now we're talking next level distance, consistency, and even mood, especially on the back nine. And actually, every pound you drop takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So I lost 300 pounds of pressure off of mine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening.
You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Because there's nothing better to do on a Friday night, let's just rank 5 things. It's the Buckeye Show's Power 5.
Hanging out here on a Friday, I got my man Dylan Tyrer with us. We are very close to football season starting. Thursday begins Buckeye camp. I think we're all juiced about that. We'll have more storylines, get a quarterback competition, working young guys in. So it got me thinking today. Power 5 best things about football season almost being here. I will go first with number 5. It doesn't often get used. In my house, I do have YouTube TV. That's my TV subscription. The possibility and probability and most likelihood that soon enough on Labor Day weekend, we will get to be able to fire up the quad box with 4 games running. It really is one of the great modern inventions of all time. I mean, because my wife always yells at me, and it takes a while for me to get back into like my football watching zone and like how that I do that. But she's like, how do you navigate the 4 games at once? I'm like, well, first of all, if it's an Ohio State game, the Buckeyes are the only game on the screen. Mm-hmm. Like they're the single TV option. But when it's 4 games that I'm like, all right, this is a good game, that's a good game, pick your options, let's do that. I'm like, I have the volume on the one that I most like to watch, that I'm really locked in on. And then if there's a downtime, I've got a game number 2 that's to the right of it. And so I doctor up my quad box to be to my liking. But it does take me like 2 or 3 weeks to get back into the quad box. But number 5 for me is just the quad box is on the horizon, which, again, can't get enough football. Reimer?
Sometimes I'll bring if Ohio State's on and there's another like full slate, I'll have Ohio State on the big TV and I'll bring a second TV down.
Look
and go
at
quad
you
box.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that when I was working with Carp, he would have the Octo box on. He would have 2 TVs rolling, both with the quad boxes, all 8 different games. I'm like, that's too much for me. That's too much.
I've got an 85-incher. We call it the Hog.
Nice.
So the quad box on the 85-incher is special. I'll tell you that.
Is fantastic.
It's awesome.
How does that?
Really good.
Did it take a while to like get that through your door?
Yeah. It like where we used to live, where I first got it, we lived on the 2nd floor of like a duplex, and we had to get it up the stairs. That was really hard.
Sketchy.
Yeah, and like hanging it, that's a handful. Moving it, that's a handful. But oh baby, when it's on and it's rocking, like I'm with you. Like Buckeyes get the screen, Bears get the screen, but after those games, just dial in the quad box, have the volume on the game that you care about during a commercial break, switch to another game. That's like the number one thing I didn't know in getting the 85-inch TV, but the first time I put the quad box on, and it's like you have like 4 32-inch TVs.
It's perfect.
Oh, my God. I made the right choice.
I think you've just convinced me to get an 85-inch TV.
Have to. Go bigger. Get 90, whatever, 110.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah,
make it your whole wall. Reimer, what do you got at number 5?
So number 5, it's kind of similar, but it's just something on TV all day long.
Yeah.
And like you can go with a big noon game, like we have Ohio State, Texas, and then if there's another big 3:30 game, and then cap it off with a night game. If you wanted to get into what used to be the Pac-12 after dark, you'd have a late game there, then at 10 o'clock. But multiple games on all day long, it doesn't get better.
Just something to glue your eye on.
Exactly.
Walking back and forth to the kitchen, whatever, keeping one eye on the game. It's great. Dylan?
For me, I've got fantasy football at 5.
Yeah.
And like clockwork, I literally, this moment just got the email from ESPN. Your league commissioner has renewed the league.
Okay.
Fantasy football is back. Our draft order actually came out today, so we got the draft order going. I'll be selecting 5th in my fantasy football draft. I'm happy about it. I'm in a long-term league that we've done for like 12 years with some high school buddies. So I've got fantasy football coming in at 5. I just love it. You know, fantasy football gives you something extra on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, everything.
Absolutely. Fantasy football is fantastic. Number 4 for me, maybe this is just me, or maybe it's you out there listening as well. You get actual football And we've been doing the same story since spring and summer. And doing this job, I feel like we talk about a lot of the same things from time to time, and the defensive line and the quarterback competition. To actually have players on the field to get something to talk about, which is new, is number 4 for me.
Number 4, it kind of contradicts my number 5, but there's more available tee times.
Fall golf. Golf is sick. I like a morning tee time right into an Ohio State kick. That's ideal.
Yeah, that is ideal.
Or after an Ohio State game, you got the sun kind of setting. Everyone's still watching football. You kind of got the course to yourself.
Like a 6 o'clock race against the sun.
You got to be hitting fairways, though. Otherwise, your ball's gone. So in the leaves.
Leaf rule.
Exactly. There you go.
You're every cart person's worst nightmare, Reimer. Sun sets at 8:30. I'll come in at 8:50. Can't see the ball. Yeah,
absolutely.
Dylan?
4, I've got hype videos, and not just like the one that Ohio State tweets out. Guys, I got a truth bomb for you here. About a week ago, I really started to feel the itch for college football. I watched a 45-minute YouTube video of college football entrances and traditions and all of that stuff. So let the band play neck, all this different stuff. Tennessee, Enter Sandman, Sandstorm, all this different stuff. So I spent 45 minutes laying in bed watching all this stuff, getting fired up. So I will do that from time to time throughout football season. Just watch the intro, stuff like that. Can't wait for it.
I get sucked in on Twitter every year when they do Enter Sandman of Virginia Tech running out. They're like, college football's back. I'm like, I gotta watch the whole video.
Yeah.
It's a great scene.
I'll go back and watch like past Ohio State trailers like that they put out like on the Thursday before a game or something like that. Or when they play Texas, like just the one they had for the Cotton Bowl.
Maybe random highlights of just great players. Like just go back and watch Noel Devine highlights and see what he was doing.
I watched like a jump around compilation at Wisconsin, just like every jump around they did all season long. So good.
Number 3 for me. I think it's echoing to what you guys are saying. Full on football assault, just Thursday to Monday. And then I usually call like Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just my off days. Like that's when I can catch up on whatever shows
until you get action.
Or else, until you get action later in the year. But just full on Thursday to Monday. You know what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm watching it every night.
Number 3 for me is parlays. We've got really something to bet on.
Let's go, baby.
Cooking up bets all morning.
Touchdown props.
What you want to have on the games for the day.
Anything better than a group chat with your boys? Like, what are we on?
Gosh.
What are we on tonight?
What's the place?
What's the board looking like? How are we liking the board?
Yeah, my group chat is literally called Exotic Wagers.
Yeah, I love it. I can turn this $1 into $3 million and never work again.
My number 3 is kind of similar to Reimer's. I have a trifecta right here. So I have not moving on Sunday. One of my things that I love doing on Sundays is at the end of the day, checking how many steps I have and then sending it to my buddies. If I've taken over 300 steps, it's a failure.
Disaster day.
I'm usually right around 200 on Sundays, which is awesome. So I've got that multiplied by gambling, multiplied by those late night games. So it's like, oh, wait, Nevada is playing Utah State tonight?
This is a tasty line.
We've lost so much money today. Let's try to get it back here.
It's all about the sweat. It's all about the chase. So I've got not moving on Sunday, multiplied by gambling, multiplied by those late night Saturdays. Excellent.
That's the kind of math that I'm into. Yeah. Number 2 for me, Power 5 best things about football season almost being here. It's the perfect excuse to get out of any plans. We were talking about the fall weddings. If you don't want to go to it, you know what? Just say there's football on. I'm not attending your event. I'm not attending a baby shower. I'm not coming to your hangout. I'm not even going to leave my house today because you know why? Because there's football on the screen. It's the perfect excuse to get out of anything you want.
Now, what if I tell you the game will be on at the event?
That's up to my discretion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's up to my discretion. But knowing me, I'm a very antisocial person. I'm not leaving my house.
Game you care about, got to be at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't watch it around people. What am I, a psychopath?
Number 2 for me, it's the weather. You got sweatshirts, you got sweats.
Yeah.
That's the perfect weather. Cool fall breeze in the air, quarter zips, anything like that.
Number 2 for me, chili. Chili's back. I love a bowl of chili with some saltines and cheese over it. It's so football.
I thought you were going with me with chili weather.
Well, the chili is it's weather adjacent. It gets cold, chili's back.
Yeah, you can't make chili today.
Yeah, I'm not doing summer chili. Come on, beans can't be sweating.
That's not a thing.
No, chili. I love chili during football.
I think this is also very adjacent. My number 1 thing, favorite part about football season almost being here, football weather's on the horizon. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm with you, Reimer. I'm with you, Dylan. Usually for me, it's got to be like 55 for the first chilly day of the year. Like there's a certain increment and smell in the air where you wake up and you say, it's chilly day.
The only reason it's not number 1 for me is because football being here means we're closer to basketball season.
You're sick. You're sick.
I hate you so much for that.
I should have known it was coming.
Yeah, you had to know that was my answer there.
That's crazy.
That's good. I like that, though. So I'm on number one now.
Yeah.
All right. My number one is doing beers. So go with the buddies. Like, hey, we've got it planned this Saturday. We've got it planned on Sunday. I'm going to watch the Bears play in the 1 o'clock slate, but when 4 o'clock hits,
4 o'clock.
Yeah, when 4 o'clock hits or Sunday Night Football hits, buddies, let's meet up somewhere, do a few beers, do a few apps, maybe some wings, cook a parlay, ride it together, sweat together, just have fun. Like going somewhere, watching a game with your buddies is awesome.
Shane said on the YouTube chat, by the way, you can watch it. Just type in 971 The Fan, and then you're going to get that. Number one for him, socially acceptable to crack a cold one at 10 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, so
There's no
true.
rules. And I said, why? That's a little late. He goes, socially acceptable, not the time for me. Yeah, it's just, there's no rules. You want to get out to Ohio Stadium at 6 o'clock in the morning and crack a few ones? Go for it, because we only have a certain amount of Saturdays where we can enjoy it. We got a pretty wild story in college football, all thanks to someone leaking DMs. We'll get into that in the Pulse next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. And no matter what tasty choice you make, our low prices add up to big savings. Plus, you get over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump and points. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. The Cincinnati Bengals and their 2025 first-round draft pick, Shamar Stewart, have ended their dispute and reached an agreement on a contract. 4 years, fully guaranteed, $18.97 million contract that includes a $10.4 million signing bonus. Stewart will now head to Bengals training camp after getting the deal done. In baseball, after an off day yesterday, the Cincinnati Reds return to action at home tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch from Great American Ballpark tonight comes here at 7:10. Coverage can be found right here on The Fan following the Buckeye Show at 8 o'clock. The Cleveland Guardians are on the road tonight in Kansas City visiting the Royals. They get things started at 8:10. And in soccer, the Columbus Crew are at home tonight taking on Orlando City SC. Kickoff from Lower.com Field is here at 7:30. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour 2 for us here on a Friday. Good job on the update there, Reimer. Woo! Cooking, baby.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely cooking. To your point, what you just said there in the update, the Shamar Stewart and the Bengals reaching the agreement seems like a big deal. We were talking a little bit earlier in the week, like who was going to go to training camp first for the Bengals or just play in a game. Was it going to be Shamar Stewart or Trey Hendrickson? And it's going to be Shamar Stewart, it looks like, because Trey Hendrickson, the last I checked, is still in Florida during training camp. So $18.97 million, $10.4 million on the signing bonus. That'd be nice.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's a good Friday.
Pretty darn
Absolutely.
good.
Going into the weekend with that.
Yeah.
That's real nice.
That is real nice.
Must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice for him.
I'll buy you a Friday beer or two.
Yeah. Just a couple, I would think.
Couple.
I mean,
Or
you were telling me a story during the break, Dylan, how you were playing golf down in Atlanta in week number 1 of the NFL season, and you guys found yourself at a place called Bench Warmers.
Yes.
And just what that's like to have the first week of football. And really, it's the second week of college football when the NFL then enters the fray. And just that first 1 o'clock window of week number 1 of the season. And I don't care if you're a Bengals fan, if you're a Browns fan, if you're Bears fans like we are, if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, there is hope in the air. And then those hopes are usually dashed by like the 4th week of the season. But you go into a NFL season knowing that your team technically still has a chance to make the playoffs and get into the Super Bowl.
You know, it was another great pastime of mine that's had to go away the last couple of years is watching week 0 of college football at the Nationwide Championship over at the Scarlet Course, going to the Birdie Bar.
Birdie Bar.
You go to the Birdie Bar there and they have TVs on. So we would do that every year. Go to the Birdie Bar and watch week 0 of college football. Now it's pushed back a couple of weeks, the Nationwide Championship, so we can't do it.
The Birdie Bar is fantastic.
It's so fun.
We used to live over in UA, so not far. And we would just get an Uber right to the golf course, show up, and we would be there for like 5 hours.
It's amazing.
Cup snakes, just the whole thing. Booing golfers when they miss a birdie putt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, beat the clock.
I remember one time we had a cup snake so big that a guy had like his 5-year-old son take a picture with all of us at our table.
That's great.
Awesome. It was awesome.
If you've never been out to the Nationwide Children's Championship over at Scarlet, do it. It's a fantastic,
super underrated event.
Very underrated.
Yeah,
very underrated.
As far as things to do in Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, the Memorial gets all the love, and it should because it's terrific. But you could just literally walk up to Scarlet and watch the next wave of PGA Tour superstars. Like
watch Big Boat dominate.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we were just following Victor Hovland around. Just for 9 holes. Just like, this is good. Meredith's like, he seems like he's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, he is. And now, look at what he's done on the tour. Reimer, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
So we got to reset the clock for days since last nonsense at Memphis because they're in the news again.
Maybe this is why the ACC won't let them join, or the Big 12.
Big 12.
Maybe they knew they weren't going to let them join, and it was just they leaked the $250 million denial just to maybe cloud the news.
Allegedly, former Memphis safety Taj Rael gave out the team's defensive playbook to UTSA quarterback Owen McCown ahead of the game between the Tigers and Roadrunners on November 2nd, was giving him the coverages, signals, calls, while UTSA went on to win that game against Memphis 44-36. Rael was previously reported to have left the team in October, but a source close to Memphis said that he was dismissed from the team, likely giving a motive to do this. How big of a thing is this?
It's a pretty big thing. I mean, you are literally sending the opposing quarterback all of your checks and your game plan. We talked about the Connor Stallions stuff, being able to decipher that and being in person. Like, Connor Stallions didn't have an Ohio State playbook, you know? He didn't have the call sheet. He was able to decipher that. This is as bad as it gets. I mean, you are literally leaking the most important team document to an opposing quarterback of you playing defense and saying, hey, this is literally what we're going to do. A former Memphis player as well, who did not want his name on the record, said about this game, he said, we were on the field and their offense had a check for every single one of our defensive checks. So, like, they knew exactly what was coming down the pipe. He said, here you go. This is the DM from Taj Rael, who is now a player at Purdue. So just know if you're watching.
I thought I saw a report that Purdue's coach isn't worried about it, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I'm Julian saying I'm sliding into the DMs.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you need to do that with Purdue, but he said, here you go. That's all the signals. And then there's a just picture of a Instagram DM with all the signals and the checks. He said, far left is coverages. I'll send you a better list showing you the calls. They run quarters, and none of the safeties can cover, by the way. Good job to have faith in your teammates. No reroutes on the slot to the field safety. It's the weakest link in defense. His hamstring is hurting, but he's running out of eligibility. So when you play him, he's your guy to target. And then the quarterback responds, okay, let me know if they cut your stuff. I'll put in a word. Like, if you're the quarterback, I'll take it. You know? There's nothing wrong with that. You're on the receiving end of this. Like that. I don't know what happened between him and Memphis. I'm sure we will get to it at some point. But
he's salty.
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets.
So Owen McCown is the UTSA quarterback here.
Yeah.
His father is Josh McCown. Did we know that?
I did not know that.
He is the son of Josh McCown. I thought we had a little bit more integrity in the McCown household.
I did too, actually.
Like, come on.
Former Bears legend, Josh McCown. Browns
too.
Yeah.
Josh McCown, Luke McCown. He comes from a family of quarterbacks, Owen McCown does. The heck do we got going on here?
Yeah, come on. You should know that. Can we name every team that Josh McCown played for?
Absolutely not.
There are Cardinals as a rookie.
Jets.
Lions. Raiders. Dolphins. Panthers. Hartford Colonials is mixed in there. 49ers. Bears. Bucks. Browns. Jets. Eagles. And Texans. That's 13 teams.
Coming next, the Columbus UFL franchise.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that this
week. Could be head coach of them, maybe.
He might be. Like former Columbus Destroyers head coach Matt Nagy or quarterback Matt Nagy.
Exactly.
He went on to do fantastic things. Yeah, come on, McCown family. We got to be better than that. What else you got for us tonight, Reimer?
Pro Football Focus ranked their top 10 defenses in college football for the 2025 season. Alabama is at number 1. Texas is 2nd. Clemson 3rd. 4th is Georgia. Penn State at 5. Notre Dame is 6th. Oregon 7th. And then the Buckeyes come in at number 8. Texas A&M and Texas Tech round out the top 10. How do you guys feel about the Buckeyes ranking in this list?
I think it's fair to put them there. You obviously look at what Jim Knowles did, and we'll get to some of his stuff coming up here in the next segment. But you look at what this defense was, Dylan, and they were number 1 in the country. Now, it took a few years to get there. He had some growing pains along the way, but that defense was firing on all cylinders last year. They were incredible. I'm wondering, and again, we can save it for next segment. I'm wondering from a Jim Knowles perspective, like, yes, you go to Penn State. It did take a while to implement that defense. It's very tough to get that on the fly in year number 1. Like, we saw it. We had firsthand experience in that. Now, I understand totally why Penn State is above Ohio State in the rankings and why they rank number 8. You lost 8 starters on your defense. I think that is a very fair point for Ohio State to be in at number 8 to start the season with 8 new starters.
Yeah, I like Ohio State at number 8. Don't mind it whatsoever. The one that kind of ground my gears was Clemson at number 3. The breakdown starts off with the name Cade Klubnik, and I thought we're talking about defenses here. Clemson, I think, has maybe the 2 best defensive linemen in college football this year. Also, a good cornerback, Avian Terrell, I believe, is their top cornerback, right? He's projected to be a first-round pick. I think Clemson deserves a little bit more respect. Their defense is going to be nasty this year.
Are you back in on the Dabo train?
I'm going to go with a soft yes. I'm not sure about Klubnik yet, but that defense is very, very mighty. So I think if any year is going to be the year for me to be back in, I was never a Dabo guy to begin with, but for them to be good, I'd say this is the year.
They better be ready to come to Chapel Hill on October 4th. I'm just going to say that.
Why did you say it that way? It's Chapel Bill. All right? It's not Chapel Hill. It's Chapel Bill.
The location, they're coming to Chapel Hill.
No, they're going to Chapel Bill. They renamed it. By the way, they do have a massive week number 1 game because they get to host LSU. And LSU, since Brian Kelly has got there, has had massive problems in week number 1 games. Remember last year when they lost to USC week number 1, he had a mini blow up. Like, we can't keep doing this. This can't keep happening. he's got some pressure on him. Yeah, I mean, again, we'll find out a lot about Ohio State and Texas that week, number one. You'll also find out a lot about LSU and Clemson because Garrett Nussmeier and then Cade Klubnik, obviously, both Heisman favorites to start the year. Like, how great is that? I mean, you get to start with the Buckeyes and Texas at noon, as much as we don't like that, and it should be a night game, and it just carries you right into what is a fantastic week one college football slate.
Football Shangri-La. Cannot wait for that day.
It's so good. It's just so good. It's almost back. We're almost there, people. We're almost there. Jim Knowles is trying his best to give Penn State an edge over the Buckeyes. We'll get into that coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut, to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hot and humid with scattered showers and a few thunderstorms on your Friday. Otherwise, the day will be dry. Temperatures running around 90. Overnight will fall back down to the low 70s. And after a sticky start to your Saturday, temperatures back around 90 in the afternoon. And the showers and thunderstorms will be back too. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
The only radio show that bleeds scarlet and gray. This is The Buckeye Show.
Well, here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our great friends over at Coors Light. When those mountains are blue, you know those suckers are as cold as the Rockies. Coming up here, 7:30. Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program live back from Vegas. What are his takeaways from Big Ten Media Days? What he's most looking forward to camp beginning next week. I don't know. I'm just kind of in a mood now that football is almost starting, and I'm almost like giddy that it's here. And I was looking at the week number 1 slate for college football. Like, it rocks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It rocks. And we get week 0, not any great games week 0. You do get Iowa State at Kansas State, and that game is technically being played in Ireland. Then you get Thursday start. You get a couple of Friday games in there. And then Saturday is just terrific. Texas at Ohio State. We know that game's going to be noon. Even a Syracuse at Tennessee might be a little interesting.
Orange on orange crime.
Yeah, for sure. So that game's pretty good. Your noon window is solid. And then you move to the 3:30 window, like Bama at Florida State, all that trash talking that was done by Thomas Castellanos, new quarterback. Like, yeah, we're going in here. We're going to beat Bama. Like, I'm not sure of that. We'll see what happens there.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So you get that game at 3:30, and then your night window, I mean, it's terrific. You get LSU at Clemson, just all kinds of good stuff in there. But just even seeing the logos on the screen.
Notre Dame at Miami that day, right?
Notre Dame is it? That's a Sunday game.
Oh.
Yeah, so they get the Sunday primetime matchup.
Who's on Monday?
That would be Chapel Bill. TCU, the Horned Frogs.
Yep. All right,
traveling to Chapel Bill.
Now that we've broken this down, I'm even more excited. I got a lot of football to watch.
Yeah, do you know what the line is on that game, Reimer?
I thought I saw TCU was 3.5 point favorites.
Yes, they are. TCU is favored at Chapel Bill.
UNC's winning that game.
It's either going to go really good or really bad for Bill. I don't know which way that I'm trending. They will be coached up.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about, it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. Like the X's and O's will be great. I just don't know what that's going to look like. Mm-hmm. I have no clue what a Bill Belichick college team is going to be.
So what was the fan poll today? Like, is this a spoiler if I'm talking about the fan poll right now? It was UNC's over-under at 7.5.
Yeah. Do you think the Tar Heels will hit the over-under in year number 1 of Bill Belichick?
Just for giggles, I went and looked at their schedule. I feel like there's a lot of winnable football games there. Like, I was counting them up, and it's tough for me to see Bill not winning 8 games this year.
If they beat TCU in week number 1, then you get Charlotte at Charlotte, which is great. You get Richmond on your schedule, and then you get year number 1 of Scott Frost back at UCF. Mm-hmm. So Scott Frost, ex-national champion against the multiple-time Super Bowl winning coach in week number 4. You do get the home game against Clemson.
Yeah.
So that's nice. So you don't have to go to Death Valley. And then you're at Cal, home against Virginia.
Like, those are winnable games to me.
You got Devin Brown at quarterback for the Cal Golden Bears. Potential ACC legend out there. I think Syracuse is going to be better what people think this year. Fran Brown's doing a nice job there. Stanford, that's a win. They're kind of a mess, even though I know Andrew Luck is back. At Wake Forest, home against Duke, at NC State. Like, that NC State game is going to be tough for them, but it's a great line.
Yeah.
It's a really good line set by the friendly folks out in the desert.
I'm just looking at that schedule, and I'm seeing a lot of wins for Chapel Bills.
They got to win week number 1.
Yeah, they have to hit that over. That's definitely a game that you want to win. But I see it happening. TCU's had some down years here. I think Bill comes out, shocks the world. I think those guys are going to be fired up there too. It's a big game for them,
They
right?
sold out their tickets for the first time ever.
Yeah, people are going to be fired up. They got great colors. Just those colors, winning colors.
Carolina colors?
Yeah, Carolina.
Reimer, more wins for the Carolina football team or basketball team this year?
My goodness, I hope basketball.
Yeah, you would hope.
My God.
I'm just asking. A couple of years ago, they flirted with that, didn't they?
Yeah, COVID year was
bad,
pretty rough.
right?
That's in the back of my mind. I've already forgotten about that because the tournament got canceled. Nothing happened with that. So
was that the worst day of your life?
Yeah, it was. I was very upset about it. I was like, no, just postpone it. Let's eventually not look great.
Just play it sometime in February of 2021.
Yeah, let's have some June or July madness.
Yeah,
That'd
they
have been
were.
fun.
No, let's see here. What did they do in 2020 and 2021?
No, it would have been 19 and 20.
You're right. They were 14 and 19. So
Yeah.
they did double
And
up.
they
Bill's
lost
potential
so
over
many
under wins.
They lost so many games by like one possession or in the final seconds, and it was just aggravating.
All right,
Bill
that
wins
does
the
it.
Natty this year. He'll be right there.
Yeah, he will be. You're right. I mean, you got to go through at least. Well, let's say they get to the conference championship game. That's 13 games.
Couple rounds in the playoff.
If they get a bye, I mean, you're talking about a potential 16-game schedule for Bill Bell. I think it's close.
You're talking dirty to me, dude.
For Carolina football, not the basketball team.
I realistically, though, looking at their schedule, realistic 3 losses. Clemson, I think Devin Brown gets it done. That's going to be a weird trip out there.
I think UNC wins that game.
I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like it's just going to be a weird trip out there, especially like after the Clemson game. But then I think they go into the Carrier Dome and don't come out with a win that one either.
Yeah, I think Syracuse is going to be better than what people think. I think Syracuse is going to be a fun football team this year. In the non-Big Ten realm, if you're just catching random games, like watch some Syracuse football. Fran Brown's got them coached up nice. I was reading this from Stephen Means from Cleveland.com, and he wrote this piece about Jim Knowles taking over Penn State's defense. He said, if you can't beat them, join them, or at the very least, take something valuable from a team that could be used to your advantage. That's one way you can look at the motivations behind Penn State head coach James Franklin hiring away Jim Knowles from Ohio State to coordinate his 2025 defense. Here's what James Franklin said about Jim Knowles. He said he's been a high-level defensive coordinator at multiple places, who you can make the argument has had the best defense in college football the last 2 years and has been part of a national championship. He's from Pennsylvania. He's a Philadelphia guy. Obviously, it's a big get. And he's awesome. The defense here the last couple of years has been stellar. We know it. We've seen it. We've talked about it a lot. Now you're losing 8 guys of this defense. Matt Patricia comes in. That's a whole different thing. Here's what Drew Aller said. Star quarterback, Penn State. Going to lead them to a national championship. That's what they're saying in Nittany Lion Land. He said, I've actually been able to sit down with a couple of guys that he brought over from Ohio State and really sit back and watch the game from last year. Really understand their philosophy on why they're calling certain things and the tells I had and we had as an offense. He was able to show me the scouting report they had on me and the other guys, and it was really positive feedback from the standpoint that I knew that there were areas that I needed to work on, but those actually reconfirmed it. Knowing those areas showed up on film, trying to turn those into strengths for me this year so those things don't happen. I think it's a great use of knowledge by Jim Knowles to do and this isn't breaking news to anybody. I mean, you do your self-evaluations and self-scouting, like, hey, what are our tells? What are our weaknesses? Let's go through. And usually they do that during the bye week still, and they'll go in there and kind of get in the lab and see what they need to change. It's a great use of implementing Jim Knowles to help out Drew Aller in his development and saying, hey, this is what we were able to do against you. You need to get better at things X, Y, and Z because frankly, the last couple of years for Drew Aller against Ohio State has been a bit of a nightmare.
It would be a tremendous resource no matter who the coach was, right? Like, say it was Indiana's defensive coordinator that was hired at Penn State. Here's what we did against you. Here's some of the things we learned about you. The fact that it's the best team in the Big Ten, the fact that it's Ohio State's defensive coordinator, I think is huge for Drew Aller and huge for Penn State because, Ohio State is operating hypothetically at the highest level of any team in the Big Ten Conference, right? Certainly they were defensively last year. So to have that as a resource to say, hey, here is the defensive coordinator from the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. Here is what he did against you, and now he's here to tell you why he did those things, how he did those things. and potentially how you can correct some of those mistakes that you made or some of the weaknesses you have in your own game. That's awesome. I don't think it gets any better than that, right? Like, could it get any better? Because this is the guy that beat you and went on to win the national championship.
Yeah, now he's yours, right?
Yeah.
Now you're going to be expecting to do that against opposing offenses. Here's what James Franklin had to say as well. He goes, it helps all of us. We do self-scouts all the time, but you're buddies, so you're honest. But sometimes you kind of sugarcoat some things. We were able to get his Ohio State game plan and evaluation of us and our personnel that he did before he was in our offense and actually hand it to us. That was valuable to go back and watch the game with him and our offensive staff and Drew and all of these guys. Really valuable. But it's like anything else. You want feedback, so you got to ask the tough questions, and you better be willing to listen and hear and embrace some of the information, what you're getting, and understand the value of it. We're a program that does that. We're a program that has open, honest conversations with each other. Again, I don't know what it's going to look like in year number 1 for Penn State with Jim Knowles. We saw still a very good defense in year number 1. It wasn't to the level of what we've seen the last 2 years here at Ohio State in that first year. With all of the pressure and everything mounting over in Happy Valley for James Franklin and for the Penn State football program, they have to get it right in year number 1. I'm not saying you have to be the number 1 defense in the country, but you have to be a top 5 defense if you want to achieve any of your hopes and dreams for them. You have to be.
Absolutely. You're right about that. I want to go back to one thing you said in there that piqued my interest. Was there a quote from James Franklin that said sometimes we kind of sugarcoat things because we're friends in here?
Yeah.
And then he ended that by saying we have open, honest communication?
Yes.
No, you don't. You just said you didn't do that. Maybe that's a huge problem why Penn State hasn't been able to get over that hump, because you aren't having those truthful, honest conversations.
That's a great point.
Isn't that what the head coach of a football team and the rest of the coaching staff is supposed to do?
Yeah.
You don't need to be buddies in there. You need to get
off
on,
your
guys.
butt and find that dog.
You need to get on, guys. What are we talking about here, James Franklin? Sometimes we sugarcoat things because we're buddies. You think they're doing that over in the Ohio State room right now?
I can tell you for a fact that they're not.
I think Mickey Marotti is telling guys, maybe, hey, go ahead and have that muffin. That's okay. You can have that muffin.
Yeah, that's fine.
No. Come on, James Franklin. What are we talking about here?
It's from experience, listening to Keenan Bailey talk about his first interaction with Schlegel. No, they're not all friends. Schlegels almost punched him in the face day number 1 that they were working together. That's not sugarcoating anything.
Reimer, if I mess anything up, just get on the microphone there and be like, just be honest with me. Say you suck. That's how we're going to get better here.
You're doing a fantastic job.
We are not going to sugarcoat anything here.
No,
all
we're
right?
not.
We're not going to sugarcoat anything here. What are you talking about, James Franklin? He lied to himself in that same quote. He said, hey, sometimes we sugarcoat things because we're buddies. Then he said, no, we have open, honest communication. Problematic.
Yeah, that does seem a bit problematic, actually.
Problematic.
Now that I'm actually thinking about that quote.
I have a little bit less faith in Penn State now that I've heard that.
I didn't have any to start the season anyway. Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join us. We'll recap his trip to Vegas with us here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity sales event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
The Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu is adding some pals. Donato's savory and delicious family recipe meatballs are now on the Pizza Pals menus, along with new Oreo twists. Sweet, delicious pull-apart twists with real Oreo cookie pieces drizzled with vanilla icing. You can order unlimited $5 Pizza Pals with any large pizza. So order today and load up on all the Pizza Pals you want. Donato's, gotta love more.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We're very close to Buckeye football. Very close. Uncomfortably close. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out here this Friday. We'll get Steve real quick. His phone line just dropped. It'll be because of the impending storm that we're having. I don't know. We'll get him on there. Shane said to not use, on the YouTube chat, by the way, you can go and watch that, to not use Tyler Warren inside the 5-yard lines in the Wildcat for Penn State last year is mind-boggling, especially on the goal line. That guy didn't touch the ball. If he might have been a different outcome. Yeah, agreed. You also had Denzel Burke, I believe, chasing him down and knocking him out of bounds at like the 2-yard line. And then Iggy came up with that huge interception on what was one of the numberless amount of red zone defensive line stands that they've had all year.
Tyler Warren's overrated. You and I are Colston Loveland guys now.
So he was limited in practice. He's not really doing anything. They drafted Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren, and I just dropped my head. I said, all right, well, Tyler Warren's going to be a Hall of Famer. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our guy at Bucknuts. He is Steve Helwagen. Steve, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it. How's your jet lag feeling? You all right?
You know, I didn't do much of anything today. I got home at 1:30 a.m. last night. I had a direct flight out of Las Vegas and got home and sacked out and got up this morning. I had something I had to do at 9 a.m. and then came back home and basically did nothing and went to bed about 1 o'clock and just starting to get into my day now here at 7:30. So here, let's do it. Let's get to it. Yeah,
absolutely. You got the Reds to watch too tonight, Steve, which I know that you'll be locked in on. We'll get you that coming up here at 8 o'clock when we're done with our show. So we had your comrade Pat Murphy on in the 6 o'clock hour. Just give me head to tails, kind of what it was like out there in Vegas, moving away from media days traditionally here in the Midwest in either Indy or Chicago. Just your overall thoughts on how it was run and your experience out there.
It was a little bit different. I got to the hotel on Monday, and usually when you go to these things in Chicago or Indianapolis at the media hotel, they've got these huge exhibits up saying, oh, the Big Ten's here, whatever. There was none of that at Mandalay Bay, which was kind of weird. Nothing at the airport to say welcome to Las Vegas for the Big Ten, which was kind of different. But the hospitality from that point on was really good. And I want to tell you, other than, having to fly out, almost to the West Coast, it was really well done, I thought. I thought everything was handled pretty well there at Mandalay Bay, and there was a good contingent of media. Some of the outlets didn't go. I know 2 of the 3 local stations, TV stations, didn't even bother going. So, there is some expense when you have to take on these things and go across the country and road trip to Washington and all these other things that are come up throughout the season. You're going to have to pick and choose your battles. And I thought, on the whole, this was about what you would have thought from Ohio State. There was nothing controversial to discuss, and it was pretty straightforward.
Steve, out of all of the personalities across the Big Ten that were there that maybe you weren't familiar with before, did anyone impress you, whether it was a coach or a player?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd never really heard, David Braun, I think, from Purdue. I'd never really heard much from him. A couple of different guys. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's almost milquetoast at this point, but it is kind of bland. I mean, everybody gets up there and thanks Tony Petitti for his great job.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Your Highness.
It's kind of like, when you go into a court of law and you start to testify, you say, "Will you stipulate the blah blah blah?" And that's what it should be. We just skip right to the meat. Everybody wants to talk about everything but their football team. It's just the weirdest thing. But it is that way. And I thought on the whole it was very good. I thought James Franklin was really feeling his oats there a little bit with some of his comments about why is it in Las Vegas and Notre Dame should join a conference, and he was a little bit opinionated.
The other conference, right? He used the TOC, which I saw Greg Sankey tweet out, like in an SEC logo format, taking shots at the SEC, doing all kinds of different
petty
stuff.
wars. I like it.
Yeah, I think for him, there's a lot of pressure on him this year. I mean, they made the playoff Final Four, but not even the Ohio State fans, or rather the Penn State fans, want to give him much credit. I mean, who did you beat, to get there? What was it, SMU and Boise State? Mm-hmm. They still haven't beaten a legitimate top 5 team in forever. So, that's what their goal is this year, is to win the Big Ten, and they haven't won that since they upset Ohio State back in 2016. So, and that's the last time they beat Ohio State. So, yeah, they got a lot on their plate they're trying to live up to. This will be their highest ranking, either number 1 or number 2 since 1999. When Joe Paterno was there, they were number 1. They had LeVar Arrington and some other Courtney Brown, some really good players, and they did not end up number 1. They lost 3 games, including an unbelievable loss to Minnesota. So, yeah, it kind of unraveled for Joe that year.
He is Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Funny you mentioned Penn State, Steve, because Dylan and I were just having the conversation about Jim Knowles, right? He goes over, he leaves Ohio State. After 3 years here, including a national championship, he goes back to Pennsylvania. For them, with such high expectations, and we know it, we've seen it, it took a little bit of time for the Jim Knowles system to be implemented and work at the level that it did at the end of the season, and even really the last 2 seasons. For you, do you feel like there's more of a rush on Jim Knowles to implement his system, given the entire college football world buying in on James Franklin and Penn State this year?
Yeah, no doubt. He's got to go in there and have a great showing in year 1 to support the offense, with Drew Aller. And, I don't know, I specifically asked James Franklin about Tyler Warren. How do you replace all of his productivity? Because, for most of the year, he was the entire team. I mean, He kind of held that thing up on his own shoulders. And, obviously they got the 2 really good running backs, and Drew Aller's got the potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football, but we haven't seen him take that last step yet. So that's the key for them on the other side of the ball. But yeah, defensively, with Jim Knowles, the first year they gave up all those big plays, in the games particularly the games they lost, like the Michigan game in 2022. And then 2023 was much better, but they couldn't stop the Michigan run game when it came time for that. And then 2024, they've just simply played lights out. So, you look at it, and after the Oregon game, they were phenomenal. So kind of big shoes for him to fill there, and also for Matt Patricia, to follow Jim Knowles at Ohio State. There's a lot of pressure on all these guys.
Steve, I'll ask you the same question that I asked Pat Murphy about an hour ago. The quarterback battle at Ohio State is the storyline that everybody is focused on, everybody is worried about. Is there a secondary storyline that interests you going into Buckeye camp?
Yeah, I think defensively you always set the tone up front. Stop the run and get pressure on the passer. And we don't know what Ohio State has up front. We think Edric Houston is going to be pretty good and Caden McDonald are going to be pretty good at defensive tackle, but it's unlikely that they're going to play 60 snaps a game. That's just a lot to ask of those guys. So you need some good support behind the defensive tackles, and no one's really stepped up there yet. Maybe Will Smith, the local guy, Will Smith Jr. could be that guy. Defensive end, I had a chance to meet Bo Donaldson, the transfer from North Carolina, at the Special Skills Invitational camp that they had for special needs kids a week ago, and very impressed with Bo Donaldson. And he comes in, he's more accomplished than anybody on the roster. He's done more in his 2 years at North Carolina than anybody on the Ohio State roster. So, I really want to see Kenyatta Jackson, who they talked up out there, and Caden Curry, who's made some nice plays at times. those guys all step up. And obviously we saw Logan George there in the spring game, the transfer from Idaho State. He did pretty well too. So you got some personnel there. Now they got to step up and live up to it. That's what we want to see.
Steve, before we get you out of here, how, just a scale of 1 to 10, are you excited that camp starts next Thursday, and you get to see some actual football being played?
Yeah, there's just enough of a buffer from this trip, ending yesterday for me to rest up for 4 or 5 days, because I think we're going to get to go see the first 3 days of practice when they sell tickets, I think, to the public to go out there to the Woody Hayes Center, and it's a tremendous thing to go and see fans showing up out there. I'm old enough to remember when Jim Tressel got there in 2001, he declared that the practices were open, and they were pretty much for most of 01 and 02. And then they won the national championship, but they were like, hordes of people showing up in the spring of 2003. They immediately had to pull the plug on that. So, yeah, it was something to have that opportunity for fans to go out there. I'm sure there's still tickets available through the website at Ohio State, Buckeyes.com. But, yeah, to get fans out there and see what this team's all about.
I feel like there was also no access when Urban was here. It was like it was shut down, and we had no clue what was going on inside of practice.
Yeah, you'd get a few days here and there, and the same with Ronnie Day. We get a few days here and there, but nothing during the season, which is that's kind of the way of the world now in college football. They don't want anybody to even come in and watch them stretch, because they don't want people to see who's available and who's not. That's the big thing. So, yeah, keep it all hush hush. That's how it is.
Steve, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on with us. Have a relaxing weekend, buddy, and we'll check in again soon for camp to start next week. All right?
Yep. All right, guys. Take care.
There he goes. Our guy, Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hashtag Buckeyes coming at you next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Buckeye football training camp is coming. Catch live editions of Morning Juice, T-Bone, and Tybus and Bishop and Friends starting July 31st. They'll be close enough to smell the jock straps. Live on the Fan and YouTube. Yay football.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Jermaine are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at The Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Final segment for us coming up here, top of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll get you down to Cincinnati, where the Reds are currently facing the Tampa Bay Rays. Identical records so far, the Rays and the Reds. Reds currently with a 1-0 lead. Just hit a home run. Bottom of the second inning down there. By the way, if you are going to the Crew game tonight, you should have already been there. I did see that the Crew kickoff was delayed. I told Pat earlier he was going to be all right. They are not going to kick until I think 8:40 is what I saw.
Oh,
so
man, that's a while.
we got about an hour delay.
I hope Pat packed the cooler.
He did.
All right.
Yeah, he's just fine. Don't you worry about Pat.
Yeah, he's good, though.
Yeah, he's okay. I'm sure he's in the concourse now. He's hanging out. He's doing fine. What you got going on this weekend? Anything? I know any wedding prep or anything? It's a big day next Saturday.
A lot of wedding prep this weekend. Just some of those final things, but it's a pretty quiet weekend. Fan Sports Sunday on Sunday.
Nice.
Saturday, maybe a little gym time. Tonight, I'm going to watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to go home, eat dinner, watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Let me know how it is.
Yep. I will. I think we are going to capture some magic. I have faith in Adam Sandler. I feel like Happy Gilmore is a repeatable recipe. I think we are going to capture some of the magic of the OG Happy Gilmore.
It's just such a great movie.
So good.
It's very good.
There's going to be some callbacks. There's going to be that stuff that makes you laugh.
It might just be all callbacks.
Fine by me.
We'll
But
see. Yeah,
it should be entertaining, right? Like I'm excited to go home and watch.
We dropped Netflix a couple of years ago, and I haven't gotten back into it. But if you say that Happy Gilmore 2 is good, like I will purchase Netflix for maybe a month and make sure I watch that, and then also every episode of the Great British Bake Off. I'll get my fix in.
You can just go to my dentist to watch that.
Do they have that on?
That is all they have playing every time I go to the dentist. They've got the TV on the ceiling, you lean back and watch it.
By the way, good job, dentist, for coming up with that.
Oh, I love my dentist. It's great. It's an awesome system.
Yeah, we took Willie to the dentist a couple of weeks ago, and he was just having a total freak out.
Tears?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I figured as much.
Oh, yeah, total tears. All they were doing was brushing his teeth, too. I'm like, dude, we do this every night at home.
But it's somebody else, and there's metal.
And they're having to hold him, and they've got Bluey on the screen for him. And then, when they actually started brushing his teeth, he's like, oh, this is cool. And then the actual dentist came in, and then we had to do it again. More tears.
Has he ever gotten a shot?
Oh, yeah, hates him.
When I was 4 years old, I had to be held down with a nurse on each of my limbs to get a shot.
Well, you're just so strong.
Yeah, they had to just pin me to the table. No, sir, not getting up.
No.
petrified of getting shot.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of those.
Okay.
But yeah,
Good soldier.
It's usually like you pinch the thigh or whatever, it goes in, and then he's fine. And then about like 5 seconds afterwards, he realized what goes on. And then it's the cry where, and Reimer, you will experience this coming up here soon. It's the cry where you look at your child and you say, dude, breathe. Because it's just open mouth, face is turning red, just like breathe, man. Like you're going to asphyxiate yourself. You have to let it out. And then it then comes like after 5 seconds of very harrowing action that they do cry, and they're the loudest thing in the entire world.
Remember, Reimer, no sugarcoating. We're honest with each other on this show.
That's right.
So get right in your kid's face.
And you will be excited to change diapers because we've been doing potty training for the last week. We're okay with it now. Like he uses it by himself. It's all good. Those first 2 days, I was
bloodbath.
I was so close to just putting the diapers back on and be like, let's just go back to diapers. You're not ready for this.
I feel like I'm going to be in for truly an experience because I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, you'll be good. We had Pat on in the 6 o'clock hour, and he was alluding to this. Michigan defensive end Derek Moore talked yesterday that Ohio State's national championship was not, quote, a real win because the Buckeyes didn't defeat the Wolverines along the way. I mean, I don't agree with that. Sharon Moore said, first, I'd like to congratulate them on the win, hoping that the Buckeyes would lose in the playoff, is what he said. That's natural. It's a rival.
Fair enough.
He added, if the playoff expansion wasn't around, Ohio State wouldn't have won the national championship. So we pretty much look at it like y'all had a little nice, easy run. We helped y'all along the way. We pretty much helped y'all build back up. But after that loss, they dominated everybody that came in front of them. So got to give them all credit. I mean, the national championship still counts. There is the trophy to prove that. But this is what the Barbs are for. You know, this is what the rivalry is. Your national championship didn't count because you beat us. Your national championship might actually not count because of the cheating allegations. We're still waiting on what is happening on that front.
Oops.
But yeah, this is great fodder for mid-July at Big Ten Media Days.
I want more of it. Like I like all this stuff. I like the Thomas Castellanos saying that we're going to beat Bama, even though Thomas Castellanos really just has no experience whatsoever in being a Florida State Seminole.
And he was bad. He was not that good at Boston College. He got benched.
And didn't Diego Pavia or Vanderbilt talk a little mess a little while ago about Alabama, too?
Even that is different because Diego Pavia beat Alabama.
They beat him. But I like all this stuff. I like the back and forth. I like the heat going into these games. It just adds a little extra. Make hatred a thing in college sports again. I like that.
Speaking of the Barbs going back and forth, we're telling you that LSU and Clemson tussle in week number 1. Both Tigers played at a stadium called Death Valley. Brian Kelly said he stirred the pot when he called Clemson's Memorial Stadium Death Valley Junior, which, by the way, is a great shot to throw because when I think of Death Valley and you say Death Valley college football, who do you think of, Clemson or LSU? Like my mind immediately goes to LSU and not Clemson. Yeah, it's so good. I would love to go to a night game at LSU. That's a bucket lister for me. And Dabo pulled a line out of Curt Cignetti from last year during his introductory press conference where he said, we don't have to prove it's Clemson, and that's a fact. Google that one, Brian. I love it. Like, just more Barbs. This is what college football is all about. There's people talking trash. I like it. And then you actually get to play the game here in a month, and we'll see who the real Death Valley is, I guess.
I wish Dabo would have talked a little smack to Curt Cignetti. That would have been a complete wild card and very funny. When you brought that up, that made me think of
Curt Cignetti's like, what did I do?
Yeah, come on.
What did I do?
Curt Cignetti starts calling Indiana Death Valley. That would be, I would love that.
So, by the way, I don't know when this happened, but they don't call Indiana Stadium anymore the Quarry. They're calling it the Rock. I don't know when that change happened.
That's Prudential Center.
Because it was always the Quarry. That's, by the way, Prudential Center, one of Jean-Luc Grandpierre's least favorite places to go in the world.
It stinks. It stinks bad. The press level toilet doesn't have a top on it.
When we had him on, I said, worst place to cover a game for you. He goes, Prudential Center, bad. Also, Islanders, bad.
Mm-hmm.
When we were on the island, when he was playing for the Blue Jackets, he's like, it was just a cold walk across the parking lot.
Hurricanes Arena.
It was also miserable weather. For all the great places that you guys get to go with the Blue Jackets, I'm sure there are some stinkers in there.
Yeah, the Hurricanes Arena, which I think is called Lenovo Center now. It was PNC Arena for a long time. It's like a wind tunnel. Their event level, it is windy and cold on the event level. There's wind out of nowhere. That's a bad place to watch a game.
How How does that work?
I have absolutely no idea how it works physically, but going back and watching an old John Tortorella press conference where his hair is blowing in the wind in front of just a white cinder block wall is very, very amusing.
Oh, man. Torts. You said you were firing up 45-minute hype videos. I may just go watch 45 minutes of Torts pressers tonight.
Dude, speaking of Death Valley and LSU, going back and watching that 45-minute hype video, Death Valley is a big, tall stadium.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to go there for a night game. And, like, top of my bucket list right now is, hey, maybe we get super conferences or we get an on-campus college football playoff game, Ohio State, LSU night game. Fire me up. I will be there. That is an ultimate dream for me.
Yeah, I mean, the next 6 seasons, you've got Texas, Georgia, and Bama. Just throw LSU in
Exactly.
there. Throw LSU into the
home
mixer.
and home with LSU would be electric.
What did Austin say when he was doing the show? Because Austin covered the SEC for a while, and that was actually like a fan poll. Like, if you were going to get all-inclusive treatment to go to either Texas, Bama, or Georgia, which one would you want to pick? And Austin, hands down, was like, if you're going as a fan, you have to go to Athens, Georgia, and experience a Georgia game. He said it was like one of the best environments
Interesting.
of all time.
I would have picked Alabama on that list.
I would have picked Alabama or Texas probably over Georgia. And he's like, no, you have to go between the hedges and do the Georgia game.
I also believe that he said that 2019 Ohio State would beat 2019 LSU by 40.
He did 30.
30, my bad.
30. He didn't get quite.
That's a take right there.
That was my reaction. That was my reaction as well. I'm like, I can see if they win the game. I can get there mentally, but beating them by 30 points is like they had no defense. I'm like, yeah, but they had Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Joe Burrow on their offense.
Yeah, Joe Burrow threw like 90 touchdowns that year.
It was the most prolific season in college football history out of a quarterback. Dylan, I had a fantastic time with you here this week. If I don't catch you before next week, best of luck in the Holy Matrimony. It's going to be great. You guys are going to have a fantastic time. It's going to be the best day of your life.
Thank you, guys. Thank you both for making me feel welcome. I had an awesome time. Let's do it again.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to come in, just pop on by. We've got the Reds against the Rays coming up next from Cincinnati. Everybody have an awesome weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. Buckeye camp starts next week. Let's all celebrate. Talk to you then. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we air all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
The Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu is adding some pals. Donato's savory and delicious family recipe meatballs are now on the Pizza Pals menus, along with new Oreo twists. Sweet, delicious pull-apart twists with real Oreo cookie pieces drizzled with vanilla icing. You can order unlimited $5 Pizza Pals with any large pizza. So order today and load up on all the Pizza Pals you want. Donato's, gotta love more.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
The
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.